Exactly a month to the day since little Gus Lamont vanished in the state's outback, new theories have emerged about just how far he might have gone.
An expert from Flinders University suggesting he may have ventured well beyond the area that's been extensively searched.
Maybe he swam to Kangaroo Island. I'm sorry, I don't buy the theory that 4-year-old Gus is further afield. If he was further afield, he would have left more evidence, either as a scent or shoe prints or items of clothing.
Police and volunteers have covered a 6-kilometre radius from the homestead near Yunta where he was last seen. But according to some experts, he could have got much further.
In this analysis, I want to show you just how simple and easy a wandering off case is to solve.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear thoughts build up until I can't feel. My mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear.
Police have been working on one theory, that he simply wandered off, and with no access to water, food or shelter, it's unlikely he survived.
That much is clear. It's very unlikely that he is still alive, but the theory, I think, perhaps needs some updating. According to an article from foxweather.com, Fond du Lac County Sheriff's deputies received a call for help from a boy's parents around 8:45 p.m. on August 25th. This is about 2 months ago, that their 3-year-old son had wandered off into an expansive 6-foot-tall cornfield behind their home. With the darkness, deputies brought a thermal drone to the scene to help in the search. How long do you think it took to find this little 3-year-old? And how far do you think he wandered off? The video begins with the drone surveying the large expanse of the cornfield of 6-foot-tall corn stalks. In the beginning, they don't find anything. Does this mean the child was abducted or that he managed to run way beyond the cornfield? But then the thermal image makes the rows of corn appear as textured black and white image. At 9:30 p.m., a bright white shape appears to move through the corn, breaking up the monotonous pattern that they form in the frame, and it's the toddler. What do we learn from this? It took literally less than an hour to find a 3-year-old who wandered off.
Oh, there we go. I got you.
Sure, man, here we go.
We got him. We got him.
We're right here, buddy. We're right here for
We're
you.
safe now.
Good, buddy. You're right here.
Hey, you're all right.
Hey, we're going to go back and we're going to find your mom, okay? We're going to go find your parents.
According to the same article, the sheriff's office noted that the boy was found about a half-mile away from home. We know that similar technology was used during the search for Gus in much easier terrain to see through. It is a lot less dense.
The pictures that we paint of the vastness of Australia perhaps just don't hit home enough.
Or they hit home too much. I'm not sure if they conducted their search in the day or at night in terms of this drone search using thermal imaging in Australia, because if they did it in the day, it may have been quite difficult to see a heat signature over hot sand. In my opinion, authorities need to search much closer to the homestead as well as inside and under the homestead, including the foundations, in other words, underground. There are so many cases where missing people later turned up buried in backyards, like this one.
Nina, over 2 decades have gone by in this case, leaving some wondering what evidence is still detectable after all of this time. That's why today investigators use tools that could reveal more than what we can see with the naked eye.
Searches conducted on 4 legs and 3 wheels Monday at the home of Ruben Flores in connection to the 1996 disappearance of Cal Poly student Kristen Smart.
And what do you think? Do you think these unconventional tools were successful in this particular investigation? Kristen Smart disappeared in May 1996. Although her body was never found, biological traces of her body were found buried beneath the deck of Ruben Flores' home. I think that's the murder-accused father. 25 years later, using what tools? Using ground-penetrating radar and cadaver dogs. Her remains were subsequently exhumed and hidden somewhere else.
Other times, ground-penetrating radar and cadaver dogs were seen around the property.
That tells me they're looking for human remains.
This is the third time the sheriff's office has searched the house, once early in the investigation, the other last year, but on both of those occasions, never as extensively or as thorough as this time.
And I would say go back to the homestead and search more thoroughly. Look closer. More recently, a New York man buried both his parents in the back garden of their home in Albany, New York. In that case, what do you think the critical tool was that revealed the bodies? Well, cadaver dogs. Cadaver dogs picked up on a scent, and a subsequent excavation in the backyard turned up the couple's bodies. And I think a big mistake that is made in a lot of searches is people search using what we think are our senses, and we think we're good at that, and we search using our eyes. And we are not very good at hunting anymore. Maybe once upon a time we were. Nowadays, what do we look at? We look at screens. We look at movies on Netflix and on big screens. And we're not very good at looking around in nature, and certainly not looking for something that is either hidden or subtle. We're not very good at subtlety. I also think we're not very good at admitting that there are other animals that are better at this sort of thing, at this sort of search. And the better sense to search isn't sight, it is actually smell.
This is her dog.
Guard. This is Ziva. She's a 10-year-old German Shepherd.
She's certified by the North American Police Work Dog Association as a cadaver dog, meaning she can sniff out human remains, ignoring the smell of animal remains and only alerting to human remains.
That would be considered a distraction. So we train with maybe dead animals in there or food, and the dog must ignore all but the target odor. Search.
Cadaver dogs are trained to alert their handler when they got a hit.
She will tell me it's there.
When it comes to training, though, the handler has to have some sort of human remains to establish the scent.
So one of the easiest training aids to get is placenta, because it's blood and tissue. And so a lot of times we'll start with that.
Now, since I've covered this case over the last 4 weeks, I haven't seen a single photo of dogs being used. Is it a technology Australian investigators simply aren't familiar with?
In this instance, we used an old hip bone.
Search.
Which she alerted to not once.
Search.
Not twice.
Good girl.
But 3 times in 3 different areas.